Hey guys, welcome back to Pixel Rich Games. In this episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we're gonna take a look at all the vitamins and minerals that this superfood brings to the table. The biggest broccoli that ever existed, Hestu. Let's quickly jump right into it and have a look at his information panel. We have two types of attack in Age of Calamity, Y for regular attacks and X for strong attacks. The arrows we see here indicate the different attacks that we can chain as combos. Compared to other champions, there isn't much on Hestu's panel, so let's talk about the other things here so we won't need to revisit this later. Hestu's unique action calls upon Koroks to join him in his attacks and abilities. His enhanced ability increases the maximum number of active Koroks from 6 to 10. As early as now, I want to share my thoughts about this ability. Basing on how my playstyle with Hestu progressed, this ability does wonders for large maps with tons of enemies, but doesn't count for much in boss-only maps. That said, let's head over to the sacred ground right outside of Hyrule Castle and take a look at Hestu's different attack patterns. Here's his 7 consecutive regular attacks. Let me say that I do love playing boss maps more than hack and slash maps, and this most basic combo is a personal favorite. It has decent range and we get to smack bosses with Korok seed-filled maracas. Now here's his X or strong attack. This attack is fun to spam in maps with tons of monsters, especially with more Koroks around. Now let's head into his YX combinations. Here's his 1Y straight to an X. This makes Hestu's Korok companion shoot forward to deliver good AoE damage. The downside of this combo is boss monsters are like brick walls for this attack as the Koroks can't get past them. YYX makes our Korok friends drag the Great Broccoli forward. This is a decent option to use when attacking weak point meters. YYYX is an awesome AoE attack as this makes all our friendlies drop rocks like they were bombers. The more the merrier. Four Ys to an X on the other hand makes our Korok friends shoot at balloons in front. One thing to note about this attack is we need to distance a bit from our target. A familiar scene from Breath of the Wild. Similar to most champions in the game, 5 Ys to an X and 6 Ys to an X have the same finisher, which in my opinion is Hestu's best attack when dealing with bosses. This makes Hestu ride a Korok leap forward like a mad veggie. A very good attack in wrecking weak point meters. Just take note that there's a bit of a delay coming from the regular attacks before Hestu glides forward. Now that we're done looking at his attack patterns, it's time to go over to the moves that aren't written on his information panel. Like all characters, we have the ability to wall jump. There's no button in this game to make a character jump. What we need to do is dash towards a structure by pressing B, then the option to wall jump will pop up, telling us to press B again if we want to jump. Once airborne, whether from a wall jump or an attack that launched us, we have a good number of options of what we can do next. Our first option is to simply fly away with our Korok friends, which I use to either avoid fights when I'm in a hurry or to reposition myself in a boss fight. Next, we can do up to 3 regular attacks. This ends pretty much in the same way as our 7 consecutive Ys. We can also mix in a strong attack or simply go straight to it, and this will make our healthy friend drop back to the ground. Because we need both our vegetable hands to play the maracas, we're not able to equip a shield, so we lose the ability to do perfect guards. If you don't know what perfect guard is, check out either my guide to one-handed weapon link or Reju, links in the description. Well, even if we don't have perfect guard, we still have access to Flurry Rush. This can be triggered by dodging with B, right as a boss is about to hit us. Once it triggers, we just mash Y to destroy their weak point meter. While nonchalantly wandering around while rocking the maracas, like Rose in Titanic, we gain 2 new attacks. Here's our dash and regular attack that makes Hestu gently hit enemies. This is our dash and strong attack that makes Hestu jiggle the Korok seeds thrice. This move doesn't end our dash even if it seems to, so we can continue our forward jiggle till we're satisfied. Now that we're done with the unwritten, we can now proceed to the Superfood's rune abilities. We can activate a rune by holding R and then pressing X, Y, A or B. R plus X activates stasis that can freeze enemies in front of Hestu. Like our single strong attack, this will make our companions throw stuff at enemies, which makes this a really effective way to destroy weak point meters. On top of that, we can also dodge cancel out to follow through with more damage. R plus Y activates Remote Bomb. This makes our Leafy team throw remote bombs that bounce toward enemies, and this also deals good damage to weak point meters. R plus A is for Crayonis. This one creates an ice pillar that bounces forward, and this frees up a bunch of Korok friends after the ice breaks. Our last rune's Magnesis that can be activated with R plus B. This pulls in metallic objects around us for an attack. If not being used to magnetize objects that bosses throw at us, this can summon Korok friends too. We've reached the part where I share with you my build recommendation. First off, our strongest weapon's called the Shakalaka Maracas, and the highest base damage that I have so far as of making this video is 70. This weapon's first hidden seal is damage per 100 KOs++, which complements Hestu's abundance of AoE damage. The second seal heals us when we defeat enemies, another addition to slaying waves of monsters. Unfortunately, both seals don't do us any good in maps with low enemy count. For my seal recommendation, we go all in with full attack speed. This does 2 things for us. Well, with how I play Hestu, I want to reach either 5Ys2X or 6Ys2X as fast as possible. I say either because I use the extra Y to time the finisher with the animation when a weak point meter is gonna be exposed, so I can do more damage. Second is, I consider Hestu as a Y spam type of character, so attack speed helps a ton in dealing sustained damage. I think this is the reason why a lot of players don't really enjoy playing this champion, but I think it's pretty cool that we get to jiggle maracas and things die. Because I play Hestu like this, he helped me improve a lot on my timing to trigger Flurry Rush and incidentally, perfect guards for applicable champions. Now we go into my favorite part of the vid. This broccoli has 2 common weak point attack animations. Here's the first. And here's the second. Next is his special attack. So once we fully charge our stamina bar by killing monsters, we're able to perform a special attack by pressing A. Not only does the special attack deal a ton of damage, we can also use this to avoid the damage from big attacks that we're about to receive when caught off guard. When a boss is about to hit us, we can simply press A, and once the animation starts, the attack that was about to hit us will be cancelled. Here's an excerpt of a run in a natural disaster where I did my best to wipe Korok seeds on this poor lighter. Click here to watch my full guide to the woman with the best set of abs in all of Hyrule, or Boza. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified for more Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity content. Stay tuned for my next vid. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.